Hello and welcome back to Bourbon Barrel Talk. I'm your host, Scott Minton. Today we're back in the Brock Bourbon Bar and we're drinking a little bit of Ole Smoky Whiskey Bourbon.
Ole Smoky.
Ole Smoky.
I thought they made moonshine.
I thought they did too.
That's what I did as well.
This was a mail call. So I got an email probably about 6 weeks ago from them, and they were like, hey, would you like to review our product and then maybe at some point interview our master distiller? And I'm like, absolutely, send it over. So I forgot kind of it was coming, and then like, I don't know, Sunday, I think, poof, showed up on my doorstep.
Isn't that like Christmas when you get bottles of alcohol in the mail?
I mean, it can be.
Wish I got bottles of alcohol.
You have to
in the
remember,
mail.
we've tried some stuff that wasn't very good, and we've tried some stuff that
Yes.
was really good.
It's kind of a gamble.
That's right, it's a gamble.
Now this
But
is
we're all betting men
this
and
is,
women.
Now this from Old Smoky is not really out of the blue because they were based off moonshine and then flavored moonshine, and then more recently I know that I've used it in some of their whiskeys, like the flavored whiskeys, like the salted caramel whiskey.
Yep.
Oh, doing that in winter with like some warm apple cider.
So do they make that banana pudding one, or is that the other
Yes,
place?
no, they do.
They make a banana pudding one?
Yep.
What's the other place?
I'm not going to say their name, man. We're not reviewing them.
reviewing them.
Well, that's true. That's right. Well, I was just curious. I'm off down.
I mean,
for
there's
good
only
liquor.
like 3 different main distilleries in Gatlinburg area. So.
Oh, it was in Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant like some off the beaten path place.
No, competition.
Yeah,
The competition.
The
Got
local
it.
competition
the
for them. So.
Got it.
headbutting
It's not
takes
very.
place.
It's not very good to mention the local competition while
Yeah,
we're reviewing.
100%. So, Jared, I'm gonna let you
thing
take the bottle there and tell us what we're sipping on, proof, all that good stuff. If I remember correctly from my notes, they were
cork
aged
sucks.
4 years. Yeah, they're just the
It
cork
doesn't
is.
suck, but it just keeps popping out.
You just got to
This
shove it
synthetic.
in.
Yeah, he's like,
Old Smoky, did you put nitrous oxide or not nitrous oxide, nitrogen or whatever in this to make this thing pop back out?
I wish I could have.
That'd
I
be
did.
cool.
I did pop a Blanton's today in my car though. It got too hot.
Oh shit!
oh, okay.
In
I
the
thought it
car?
was intentional or non-intentional.
on purpose.
No, it wasn't on purpose. It had only been in there about 2 hours too. But I picked them up for Josh Hillman. There was 4 of them in my car, and
Oh shit!
one of them had a cracked wax by the time we got back out there. So
Right.
Well, you know what? Guess which one you're popping open to drink?
that's exactly what he said. He's like, "This one will just get chugged first." I'm like, "All right, I'm in." So
this Old Smoky Tennessee Straight Bourbon Whiskey. It's been aged 4 years, and it is 40% ABV, which is 80 proof, and it's actually a pretty cool bottle. And I like the.
it's like a tall Woodford Reserve bottle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's
That's
actually
what I
pretty
would equate
good.
it to.
And it's got the nice embossed Old Smoky up here at the top, and I like the
And considering how
cellophane.
light in color it is, it's got a pretty fine nose.
It does.
It does.
The nose it's sweet. It's got a little bit of caramel, just a light amount of vanilla. There's a little bit of baking spice there, but it's so mild.
It is very mild.
This isn't a weeder, is it?
No,
No,
I
not
would
that I'm
assume
aware of.
not.
I'm getting a little fruit note going through this.
There's a card over there someplace. The Old Smoky card. Does it have like anything about the recipe or anything?
Yeah, I think it's buried over there somewhere.
Might have got buried. Yeah. Anyway,
Oh, here it comes.
here
Thank
comes the
you.
peanut gallery. I love it.
Appreciate it.
Now we can get more information.
I'm assuming it's probably just high corn, but I have no idea what the percentage of rye or barley is or anything to that nature. So
It's a good nose. I
So,
dig it.
anyway, dive in. Let's see what we get a little tasty taste and go from there, man.
Yeah, there's not much information on the card right now. It basically just kind of describes it, but that's about it. That's 4 year.
There we go. Did they give tasting notes or anything?
Nope.
Don't tell us if they did, but
No, I wouldn't. It says recommended what to use in cocktails, though.
oh,
with
okay.
it. So,
It's
yeah.
oh, that's what I thought. I do remember seeing that. Now that you mentioned that, there's like 3 or 4 cocktail recipes on the back.
Not really
Should've made a
recipes, but
cocktail
what they
with this.
recommend to use in them. Like for the highball, the old fashioned instead of the old fashioned. The
Gotcha.
old fashioned.
Oh, whiskey. Yeah.
Play on words.
Yes, and then the Manhattan.
I like it. It's got a good hug. Decent little mouthfeel. Kind of coats the tongue a little bit.
It's a little young. I mean, it's got
At 4
it's-
years,
it's-
you can tell. Yeah.
It's a little corn forward. There's
Yeah.
I think it's heavy malt though. Is anybody else getting as much malt as I am?
I can agree with. I can.
Kind of like on the side palate.
Yeah.
Yep.
I kind of got this like really hint chocolatey malt off of it,
I'm not getting chocolate.
like right on the side of my mouth.
Let me go back in. I'll have to, sometimes you pick up stuff, and after I taste it 2 or 3 times, I semi agree with you, which is what scares me always. But
I don't know.
Welcome to the dark side.
Comes back around.
Right with that corn, there's like a little note of almost, I want to equate it to almost field greens or maybe honeysuckle or something like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't go honeysuckle, but it's definitely field greeny, floral.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
just kind of right there. That's right, that undertone under that corn flavor.
Yeah, I mean, it's
It's borderline almost like an herbal tea or something like that. That feel greeny note.
yeah. I could pick that, except for I'm not getting really any tea. I'm getting more like the herbal notes, like
Yeah, okay. Maybe
Like-
it's just a herbalness then.
yeah, it like lavender or like violets, like field violets.
Like a field grass
Yeah.
with a little bit of
What-
floral.
so
in it.
my grandma used to put like during certain times of the year, she would put violet greens in her in scrambled eggs. That's what it kind of reminds me of, like those field violets. So I don't know.
That's a fair description.
You're turning violet, Violet.
That's right.
That's
Turning
what it made me
violet.
think of.
That's the name of the musical I'm in.
You're turning violet.
No, Violet.
Oh, violent.
just Violet.
Oh, just violet.
think-
Yes.
I thought it was violent. I was like, wow, what are you playing? I'm
You're turning
kind of
violet.
masochist
Daddy
or something.
Violet.
I'm playing Hannibal Lecter. Tammy Clarice at the Lambster screaming.
Local actor dies on the set of during rehearsal.
Why
'cause
would you
somebody
say
turned
that?
Violent because Violet turned violent.
Yeah, this is definitely a unique pour. I don't hate it. It's just it's very young.
It's got all the good base notes
Yeah.
that you want though.
Like
You
just
know,
aged a
In
couple,
another 2
couple
years,
more years.
yeah, in a couple more years, it's got everything you want.
Yeah.
It's just it's all young and not pronounced yet.
I could see this as
You got a
like,
mash bill, Nick?
Absolutely, tech support coming through.
There we go.
All right, we are 84 corn,
84 corn.
8 rye, 8 barley.
Oh, so it's typical Tennessee whiskey. That's funny. That's Cascadia.
Yeah.
It's all of them. That's funny. Well, this is their own juice though, so that's funny that they have the same recipe as Dickel.
Well, the funny thing, not really funny thing, is that it says it is almost similar to their moonshine mash bill.
Huh.
Yeah,
which makes sense because that's what they're well known for.
that's their distillate.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just shocked that they had rye in their mash bill for their
moonshine.
Yeah,
You would think it would be mostly corn with maybe a little bit of barley in it.
yeah,
This would be pretty good, and I think an hot toddy possibly.
yeah, absolutely.
Or just something mixed where you don't need necessarily you're not afraid to lose some of the characteristics of the bourbon. Or
Yeah,
the
because I mean,
rye.
I don't see this. At the 80 proof, it's not going to stand up to a lot of those heavy punching, very strong fruits or other cocktails. Because the finish on this, while you get a little bit on the side of the tongue, about mid palate, you don't get much. The finish doesn't last super long.
Yeah.
It kind of dissipates. But the front, kind of that initial is still
got
pretty
that nice
good.
initial mouthfeel.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of disappears.
Yeah, it's got good legs. The color's just light, but I think that has to do with age.
It
I almost
sticks to
wonder too what kind of char level they use. Like maybe they're using a char 2 or a char 3 because they're not using char 4. If it was a char 4, I think we'd have more color. Of course, then again, it's been proofed down to 80 proof, so that even throws another dynamic in there that I'm not really used to because 80 proof is so low.
It's like when you open a fresh bag of cereal, like a Corn Puffs, and you kind of get that initial hit
Yeah.
off of the sweetness.
I'll
of
tell
the
you
Corn Puffs.
another thing when you mentioned that, it reminded me back of an episode we did a while back, the Kick cereal, like kind of that corny, like mild sweetness that
Yep.
malty flavor.
You got your vanilla, you got your caramel.
Could
got
you-
No notes on the char level.
Gotcha.
Could you almost like substitute this with like in like a gin drink? Take out the gin, put this in with kind of how herbally it is.
I mean, you probably could. I mean, I don't know how it would. The problem is a lot of times when you're using gin specific because it's non-colored. So it would change the color of the drink, which in some people might change the perception of the way it tastes. Does that make sense?
I could see that.
But if you do that in a ginger beer, I think that'd be pretty tasty.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, ginger beer. I'll be honest with you. The one thing I thought of when you guys started talking about cocktails and things like that, the like mulled cider during Christmas.
Oh,
Sure.
Yeah.
I think it would hold up very well in that.
I think so too. Yeah.
So the hot toddy just kind of, if something warm even might change it a little bit.
right.
We're drinking at room temperature. But
Add
it could
those
be
baking
really good warm.
spices in there and whatnot. Yeah, that's cinnamon. Yeah.
So this
like
is very young. So I'm going to try to be as generous and as nice as I can on the rating scale here. So scale to 1 to 10, what would you give this bad boy?
Right now, I'd say it's about a good 6, maybe 6.5.
Right.
But I would say I would like to hold out and see what happens if they start maybe releasing maybe 6, 7 year.
Yeah.
And see maybe what happens to it.
Yep. I'm probably like a 6'2", 6'3", somewhere in that ballpark. Not quite a 6'5", but, not a 6.
I think I'm about a 5'8".
5'8", all right?
Yeah.
I'd probably go about 6'3".
6'3". All right, so me and you and Nick are all kind of together. John's being a hard ass over here. I didn't know he's going to be such a hard ass.
It's not that much of a difference,
I'm
you
messing with you,
fucker. That's like 3 points.
John's opinions are not reflective of the podcast themselves.
The tsunami stops for no one, Scott.
That's true. That is true. Well, I think that's our review of Ole Smoky straight bourbon whiskey from Tennessee there. If you want to find Bourbon Barrel Talk, you can find us on Facebook, the Instagram, or the X. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. So whether you're listening on Spotify or iTunes or wherever else, you'll get your podcast as soon as it gets hit. Make sure you hit us up with any questions at bourbonbarreltalk@gmail.com. This is Scott, Jared, Johnny Tsunami, and Nick signing off. Peace.
Country roads.